In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. Welcome back to the series of our Lord's Prayer, where we're learning about the prayer of our Father, and we are taking time to kind of break down the prayer and really understand what the prayer is saying. With that being said, last week we talked about how when we address God, we address Him as our Father. We concluded by saying, "This Father of ours lives in the kingdom of heaven. Our Father who art in heaven." How amazing is that? Not only do we have a Father who cares about us, who loves us very much, but this Father of ours lives in a kingdom. Not an ordinary kingdom, but like the best, the biggest, the magnificent kingdom. Why is that important to you? Because what belongs to the Father also belongs to the Son. Each time when we first came to America, I remember we lived in a small apartment. But when my dad kept getting raises and getting a better job, my life also got better. Like I got my own bedroom, I got my better clothes, better whatever, bye to Payless, right? Why? Because what belongs to my father belongs to me. Now, if we get to call him our Father, what belongs to him also belongs to us. We have a kingdom that belongs to us. How amazing is that? So when you're going through this world and whatever issues and problems that you have, as great as it might be, as sad as it might be, remember you're leaving all this behind and you're going to inherit a kingdom that is yours. It's yours because you have a Father who lives in there. I remember when I first heard that I was gonna go to America, like I did not care about anything. Like I walked around school, like I didn't care. Like I was a first grade back then in Ethiopia, and like people would try to talk to me. I was like, please, no, I'm going to America. I was like, I'm going to America because like I knew that I was gonna leave everything behind and I was gonna go, like to us, like when you're back home, you think America is the best or whatever. It is. I don't want to get deported. It is. But the point is, like, we're also going to a kingdom, and that really is amazing, just like America. I don't want to get deported. But the point is, the kingdom of heaven is amazing. It's an amazing place where, like, we have eternal joy and happiness, right? So if that's the case, why are we worried about this temporal world that we're in? Whatever issues, whatever problems, whatever, like, however you might feel. And yes, there are justified reasons to be sad and angry, and there's like horrible things that happen in this world. But at the end of the day, understand that we are leaving this world behind. It's also important to mention when we say, "Our Father who art in heaven," who lives in heaven, we don't mean he's limited in the kingdom of heaven, right? We don't mean he's just like in the kingdom of heaven and he's nowhere to be found. Remember, the Bible is written for human beings, not for God. God doesn't need a Bible. Like we need a Bible. God doesn't need a Bible. Because of that, he uses language that like can help us understand. Let me give you an example. If you had like a 4-year-old child who said, "Where do babies come from?" You do one of these, right? Right? And then you have to try to explain to the child how kids come. But obviously, you're going to use the language of kids. So you're going to say things like, well, first, mommy and daddy have to pray. And then, and then that's it, right? Like, because you don't want to do too much because you're explaining to a child. The same thing, the Bible uses this like language of children to help us understand how God is. But God is not limited in the kingdom of heaven. It's to help us understand that kingdom belongs to him, and one day we will also go there. But what we have to remember all the time is your Father who has a kingdom is next to you as well. He's everywhere. He's not limited by place. So he's next to you right now. You're not alone. Sometimes this feeling of like being isolated and being on my own, it can feel scary and it's justified. But remember, your king, your father is right next to you. You can talk to him, you can speak to him, and you get comfort in that. Remember, this is the type of father, king that we have. And this king, this father of ours who lives in heaven, has a holy name. And that's where we're going to pick up next week. Understanding what his name means and what kind of power he has. Hopefully, you guys will continue to the series of Our Father, the Lord's Prayer, and may God be with us all. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, one God. Amen.